Every day when I start my line of duty at work and I'm in service, the number is 09 when we go 09 in service. I am in service for him. I am his servant. Yet my uniform said Miami-Dade Police Department, but my uniform is God's Kingdom. And this is how the stories of my line of duty happen, is because of him. My everyday life, I wake up and I do my prayers and I tell God, use me today. Any call that I go, and I go into the darkness. They call the police 911 when they're in the worst moment. They don't call us to tell you, okay, let's have a cup of coffee. When I start talking to people, they see the difference in the light of me. I'm not the regular officer, the bitter one, the disgruntled officer that gets dispatched there. And I have compassion because I'm looking at her with the heart of Jesus. So that helps me tremendously in my job, in my investigation. And then we ended up talking about God and what God has done in my life and my family, and the transformation that I cherish with him every day. And I invite people to Christ Fellowship, and I've seen and hear when I come to Christ Fellowship, they come and they say, officer, you're the one that went to my house. And to me, it's like God is in the midst of all this. The message I want to tell people, and I know a lot of first responders go to the calls and go to scenes and they have their own families, is that, you know what? The calls that we go sometimes represent our own families. The same storms that we walked in, we see in our families. So when you start rooting yourself with the truth of God and the Word of God in your own family, then you start flourishing. From there on, you start flourishing outside. But if your life is disconnected and not connected with your Creator, there's no way you could perform out there as a first responder, because He is your first responder, God. My line of duty is no longer my line of duty, it's His line. That's the way I see it. Before, I used to see the uniform and I used to identify my identity with being a police officer. Now I am a Christian that happened to be a police officer.